something along those lines, and now they want to be exempt from it for their staff. And
they do, yeah.
And the White House is giving a waiver for that. So I think they should have to, like Greta Van Susteren says, live by it because they voted for it.
And there is a bill pending right now in the House, which may be the way to get it resolved for now. I think it's Congressman Viggers, I think is his name, and he's proposed a bill that says the House, go ahead and approve for now Obamacare so that the government doesn't shut down, but with the proviso stipulated that Congress is not exempt from the same onerous regulations that all Americans are subject to under this bill. They don't get a pass. Some major corporations have, and maybe this bill will insist that Obama undo all the passes he's giving some big banks and big government, big corporations, and that the unions are clamoring for. But right now he knows he can't just give passes to everybody, but the poor taxpayers, and so that may be the way to resolve it, at least for now, is to take away Congress's exemption from the same regulations that the rest of us taxpayers are subject to.
And I know, Pat, you're a real busy guy, and I appreciate you fitting me in for my first show into your busy schedule, but I was wondering if you might just take a minute or so, and we touched on it just briefly, your rival Elvis Presley. You were friends with him, and I was wondering if you might be able to talk to us about the last time that you saw Elvis, because you sort of have a great story about that. I think you met in an airport, and it sort of sums up what he said, the whole sort of contrast of your two images, even though you sang pretty much the same kind of music.
Yeah, at least along the way. I mean, I went far more eclectic than Elvis did, but of course we underestimated him in the beginning. He was much better all-around singer than we knew. In fact, he developed as he went along. But this was in Memphis a month before he died. He was on his way to Las Vegas, to the Hilton, and I and my wife and 4 daughters had just performed as a family at the Sykeston Rodeo, and we're catching a plane to Orlando, and he came up off the tarmac to get on his plane. He had some white chalky stuff around his mouth, and I've learned since it was Maalox. He was still very nervous about flying, and his stomach was paunchy. I slapped him on his stomach, and I said, "What's this? You taking your money with you to Las Vegas? You're going to lose it?" He said, "I've been eating too good, man." But he said, "I'll sweat it off in Vegas. Where are you going?" And I said, "Orlando." He says, "Man, that's the wrong way." And he kind of leered sideways at his buddy. He says, "But he's always going the wrong way, aren't you?" And I said, "Well, Elvis, it depends on where you're coming from." And that was our last. We were making some fun of our images. We were 2 lucky Tennessee boys and had wonderful careers. He's from Memphis, me from Nashville. And little did I know that a month later I'd be in Pittsburgh with my family and get the word that he had died. So that was our last meeting.
I mean, that sounds like something out of a movie someone in Hollywood wrote, just that final
it does,
parting
kind
scene.
of, yeah. You're always going the wrong way, aren't you? Because our careers had diverged, and really life patterns. His marriage had broken up, which was a big sorrow to him. Here I was with my wife and 4 pretty daughters, and we're still together as a family and still a career going, but appealing to a different segment, pretty much, of the audience by then. And he was still swinging and single and looked like he had the world by the tail. And then a month later, he was gone.
Well, Pat, thank you so much again for appearing here on my inaugural broadcast of Country in Conversation. I've had a lot of fun. It means a whole lot to me that you would come on and do this once again.
Welcome back, Paul.
I appreciate it. And now I'm broadcasting out of our nation's capital here, George Washington University's radio station. So, a fitting place for a political science major like myself that also loves music.
Yep, George Washington was our fabulous first president who he refused the opportunity to be made king. I wish all of our presidents would adopt his attitude. Well, okay, thank you, man.
No, I really appreciate it, and we're going to now take a listen to, as you leave us, Pat, If I Could Only Dance With You, one of the best recordings of that song I think I've ever heard.
Good. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you so much.